I literally wanted this YouTube channel to be called Drunk Girl's Guide to Makeup, and you were like, no, wait, what else would it be other than Pretty by Patrick that day? And I felt like the smallest person in the world. I would have never had a YouTube without you. Ever.
We're gonna cry real fast. We're actually gonna make out. We'll be back.
Hi guys, so today we're gonna do a holiday inspired look. We were kind of gushing over Casey Musgraves last year when she did a Christmas special. So she did like a lot of glam looks, and then this is kind of one of them. So keeping it really simple, really classic. Red lip, black wing. The rest of the face is super matte. Just stay tuned for the details. Okay. So we're going to start today with a couple of our skin products that we normally use. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever matte powder foundation and a little bit of the Tom Ford bronzer. I'm going to start with the matte foundation shade in Y365. I'm going to build this up just kind of like as a base on like the middle to outer part of the eye. Lately I've been doing this just so it's like a quick, easy thing. I feel like it also ties everything together in the end because 90% of the time on Kate I end up using that powder just on her like all around face. I scaled back my concealer on the eye because then I'm fighting it.
Every time.
You live and you learn. For the eye today, it's going to be more about like just like a really good lash and really simple black clean liner, which is a lot for you, but just
no, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
And I'm going to go in with the Tom Ford bronzer, the Civic MAC 217 brush. Any like blending brush will work for this. And I'm going to work this instead of my greater than and less than sign. I'm just going to make like little rainbows and unicorns.
On brand. Because Casey's rainbow.
Yeah, no, I was getting it. I got it, so I was focusing on blending. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to zoom us in a little bit. Let's
My apologies. There she is. My problem with the location of your house is all I'm doing is like sitting and thinking about all the fast food options on the way home.
Now I'm gonna go in with the Marc Jacobs bronzer. This one's a little bit warmer. And then I'm gonna aim a little bit further out than what I would normally do for Kate because I just kind of want this to look really diffused instead of having like really sharp, clean lines.
Can you use that word in a sentence?
Diffused?
I was trying to think of what you meant when you said that. Like,
so like
fused
instead,
together?
No, diffused. So like not just kind of like filtering out instead of kind of having that very sharp, like clean
Copy.
line.
Copy that.
Now I'm going to take the Master Mattes palette from Makeup by Mario, and I'm going to take this peachy tone and then just kind of push it in. Look at like the inner tear duct of like your eye and then just kind of shoot up a little bit higher and just use the shape of your brush. And this will really open everything up because you don't want it to look like super smoldery in there. You kind of want to like build your shape outwards. And then just going to the middle, kind of the opposite of where we put everything else. Just filling in the lines. And if you just open up, it kind of just like creates this light where you didn't have it. And then just aiming that a little bit further down so we can beat it with the concealer later. Now I'm going to take this kind of like beigey brown, which is in the top right corner. This palette's incredible, like with the amount that you can do with it. And I'm going to take the same brush and just push this beige right into the lash line. I don't want it to look really stark. I want it to kind of have a nice even blend.
I feel like everything except for the red lipstick, we're gonna get Morgan Stewart vibes for sure.
100%.
Because I was just looking at my hair and like the little gold hoops, the turtleneck. I'm like, oh.
It's like 70s mod, but like clean. Like you have that down to a science. I'm taking a little bit of Blush Baby right into the crease, kind of blending everything out. I want the final look to look really cohesive, and to make that happen, I need the eyes to look like the face. I need the face to kind of reflect everything but the lips. So that's that. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna do some liner. I'm gonna use my Inglot Black 77 liner, and I'm gonna take one of my liner brushes, most likely my MAC brush. I'm just gonna have her kind of tilt her chin up a little bit. Start from the inside, start really, really fine, and then work your way out and let the like majority of the lift and larger part of the wing be right over here. And then we'll go in and we'll do our wings. It's like, oh no.
It looks so good.
They're flicky.
And I can still see some of my eyelid. That's a change.
That's why I went.
So I don't even try and attempt this.
So if you notice, I lined both of her eyes first and just kind of cheated the lash line. And then I did my wing, not even on your eye. So open. Your wing is not even on your eye. It's like I just lined your eye and then like kind of flipped it out. Essentially fox eye without like bringing it out on the inside.
I just always struggle with that. Like one's like going this way, one's not.
Your eyes are a little bit different shape and your brows are a little bit different shape. So like this brow's a little bit lower and this one's a little bit higher. So I try to like lower this wing when I do it. It's just like balance.
Yeah.
So then when I do the lashes later, it like looks like a little bit more sense. This is Makeup by Mario's new felt tip pen. I saw this before I cashed out and knew I needed it and bought it. I really love the Stila one and I really love the Pat McGrath one as well, as both things that I was really comfortable using before. This is really similar to the Stila though, so just a really thin felt tip. And what I like to do here is kind of pull up on the eye and just aim for the lashes so you can make all of that jet black, and it really helps you keep everything sharp. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Pat McGrath highlighting trio, and I'm taking the middle and the left, so the pink and like the sheer gold, not the bronze, just because we're going to make sure that Kate's highlight isn't like over the top. I just kind of want it to be fleshy toned, but really helps give it a little something special so it doesn't end up looking so pin-up-y. Okay, so we primed today with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer and just some moisturizer before that, so nothing crazy today.
A good combo on this crazy skin.
I'm going to do foundation first.
So let's talk. Why do celebrities think that they can start a makeup line?
I think that with the right platform and the right accessibility, you can probably go faster.
Do anything, really.
And do it faster than other people. And like, do I think that Selena Gomez is going to be like the next Fenty?
No.
Do I think that? No, like Rare Beauty is not that. But I have to say, I do love the products.
Yeah, you know, it's nice when it actually turns out into being something that you like. And technically, with that being said, who's to say that just because they're a celebrity, it's not going to be good, and that you don't have any desire to make a really great quality product? My only question is, you have a lot of people who, I think it's one thing to like to do makeup and you sit down and you enjoy buying different products, versus someone who has a passion for making something, creating something. Like, I think there's something to be said for someone like you who likes to create something, not just try different things.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like, just because someone's coming out with something means that I'm going to go buy it.
I love that you're like that. I hype up.
It's definitely not my number one.
This foundation feels like literally nothing. It's like he's just blowing air. I feel like this is what being airbrushed feels like.
It's very similar to Chanel's Phytolumiere Aqua we've discussed. Like, it's very similar in like the weight. It feels like you could probably put it on with your fingertips, which the Chanel's designed for, but I would never do that with something this watery. When I mean it's really watery, it's like, some people hate that. Like, they like that Giorgio Armani, almost like jelly, fluid foundation. That's not this.
Right.
Kind of has a compact, like a gel compact feeling, like those really lightweight, like La Mer, Guerlain, they all have these like very...
Right, I definitely like a foundation that I can feel something. But honestly, like, it doesn't matter if I'm trying something new or something that I've used in the past. The thinner it is, especially like the watery feeling, I'm immediately nervous. I like to feel like the product is going to, not in a bad way, but grab onto my skin.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're
Because
saying.
once it starts clinging, I feel like I have something to work with.
I'm going in with some of the concealer. I'm not going crazy. And this is on the watery side.
Well, this is heavier than the foundation, I feel, but it's
Definitely.
still thin.
Yeah, it feels very much like the Touche Cloth. We've talked about that.
I still love the consistency of Nars Creamy Concealer. I love it.
That's just like, that's a texture thing. When I first started using that, I was like, God, this is so heavy, but it blends down to nothing. And it's like, as long as you set it, it's like amazing. I feel like this probably is a little bit more self-setting, because again, it dries really quick. I'm taking this, like where we did her eye makeup, like I always do this thing with her nose where I just kind of like fill in the blank and just meet it there. And Kate carries a lot of purples in her very under eyes, but doesn't have any dark circles other than that. So it's something just like with a little bit of a peachier undertone, but not like a need to like color correct. It's fine. And then this is the Ruby brush. I was like not sold at first, and then I realized that I can see what I'm doing. The way you hold it, you have all this space where you can see where you're going, and that's like a game changer for me, but nothing will ever work as well as Beauty Blender.
And you see it by that?
Nothing, like I put everything onto the brush and I blended everything out with a Beauty Blender. You stand by that? I was like, final answer. Even though it's a little bit heavier, I feel like it's still like, I don't know, is there a thinner concealer than this?
I don't think so. I also feel like, with the exception of Fenty, like celebrities have to be making or wanting these formulas to be for their specific skin.
Yeah. No,
Like I'm not gonna sit down and in my quick on-the-go makeup going to just use Rare Beauty concealer.
Right.
I'm sure Selena sits down and loves it. You know what I mean? I mean, I would assume.
Wow.
It's just it's just interesting. You know what I mean? And it's not a bad thing. I'm sure there's plenty of people in the world with the same skin as Selena Gomez.
Right. And just to break down what we just did, that was actually the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder in Honey.
Oh, it's such a good color.
It's a really cool color. I think especially for us, it works. I'm gonna take like a little bit of the Makeup Forever matte foundation that we always use, and I'm just gonna go through and just kind of touch on everything we did.
We've graduated from saying look up, look down, look this way, look that way, just...
It's like, this puts Kate into her realm. She likes to see like very little shine, probably all even. We didn't go super bright with the highlight, just keeping kind of everything simple. And now I'm gonna go in with another shade of that matte foundation. And we're not baking today, so I'm just kind of brightening up that under eye.
And I've noticed this recently with just me not baking, but my skin eats up powder anyway. Just like the light powder underneath my eyes, that does so much. I don't have to have 5 layers of a thick concealer sometimes,
At
you know
all.
what I mean?
Like your face actually like doesn't want it. So now we're gonna bring a little bit of depth back, but we're not gonna go crazy. So I'm taking a very cool toned bronzer. This is the Tom Ford, but I've done like my dupes in my favorite products video. I feel like I'm gonna go into Rosewood from Anastasia, and we're just going to aim upwards. I don't want it to come really ruddy or anything like that, but I definitely want a little bit of depth so you don't just look so washed out when we do put the red lip on. That's something
This
to
face is already so good.
that's something to really consider when you have a red lip. Please focus on warming up your skin tone and kind of like making a nice gradient fade, because if not, it can really look too intense on one part of your face and then the rest, it doesn't really make sense.
What color blush are we doing?
Probably thinking a little bit of Blush Baby from MAC. Once we've kind of built this very like sheer pink cheek, which is perfection. So if you take a little bit of translucent powder, I like this actually more on like a shimmery blush. This wasn't that, but it tends to like dim it down to like a skin-like finish, and now it's the same thing that we set with, a little bit over there and a little bit there. It's perfection. I'm just taking a little bit of bronzer and Blush Baby mixed together, but just giving that dimension back underneath her eyes.
That's why I would go out like this. No lip, no mascara. I'd go out like this.
Okay, and this is the end of her existence. I'm gonna have you put a layer of mascara on. Just popping in some singles right on top. Now we're just going to line and fill the lip with Kylie Cosmetics. We're going to use Bite Me. Oh yeah, this is like a whole mood. So this is the finished look. Really simple face, really bold lip, really good time. We both had like a really great time doing this, which was really fun. It's really odd for Kate to like let me do something bold like this, but I think like when you keep everything else simple and you do something like kind of glam like a red lip, it all kind of pulls together. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
The parents from Charlie Brown, they read Jessie from the nose down and it's like wah 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 wah. So enjoy.
Enjoy.